Good afternoon and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be flying on Skymark Airlines to Tokyo. I last flew Skymark over 2.5 years ago, kind of at the start of the pandemic when tighter restrictions were in place. Fast forward 2 years and many of those restrictions have since been rescinded. So let's see how Skymark fares in 2022. Today I'm starting in Fukuoka on a very dreary early spring day. At least it's not humid, but it's definitely damp outside. So let's head inside and let's check out Skymark as we go from A to B. Today was certainly less than pleasant outside. I had hoped to start this video at the Fukuoka Castle Ruins, a nice park that overlooks the city. However, the rain became a little too strong to make this work. At least the city has covered arcades and the Tenjin Jikagai, the underground mall. So getting to the airport was a reasonably dry experience. As I continue my way to the subway station, I once again welcome you back to another video. And just a reminder, if you need to, please use the captions, where from time to time I include Easter eggs throughout the video. Anyway, this was my last video of March 2022, and we had a great week. We started in Nagoya, riding on the Iseshima liner. We flew over to Fukuoka with Fuji Dream Airlines, and then we experienced the wonderful Yufulin no Mori, a wonderful train in Kyushu. But like all good things, comes to an end, and it's time to go home. This underground mall is actually fairly extensive. There's 2 of these corridors that run parallel to each other, and they connect to the subway station, which makes getting around pretty easy. So I made my way through the gates and I jumped on the train to the airport. Skymark's check-in is located on the north end of the terminal, near Peach and other smaller carriers. There were a few individuals checking in when I arrived, so I was finished checking in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, and I made my way upstairs, where I found a pleasant surprise. So I had a little bit of luck today. There's behind me there's a pop-up Starflyer shop. They're another great domestic airline in Japan, and they give you chocolates on the plane. And at the shop behind me, they sell the box of chocolates for like 500 yen. So I picked one up. Very friendly, and I have a Starflyer tag on my bag. And they saw that and they said, "Oh, have a postcard too." So I said, "All right." So very friendly staff, another great airline, and a nice little surprise at the airport today. Alright, so we have a little bit of time. I think today I'm going to check out one of these pay-per-use lounges. I never used them before, and I think I'm going to use the Tutsutaya pay-per-use lounge and see what it's like. So let's go in and check it out. To access a lounge, simply tell the clerk how long you'd like to stay and whether you want the normal or alcohol plan. You'll get a receipt with a barcode which you can scan and pay on your way out. I kept things light today and went with the non-alcoholic plan. The lounge isn't terribly large, but it's a nice, cozy, quiet corner of the airport. It has a bit more of a relaxed, homey feel compared to some other lounges I've been in, and you get some enjoyable views of the outside. There's a selection of beverages and snacks to choose from. If you select the alcohol plan, you have access to this fridge in addition to the draft beer. I helped myself to some refreshments and then took it easy for the remainder of my hour stay. Alright, so that's one of the pay-per-use lounges at Fukuoka Airport, and what a nice, calm, relaxing lounge, exactly what I needed. And it only came to about $10 for 1 hour, so I was able to grab some refreshments and relax, close my eyes for about 40 minutes. Perfect thing to do on a Saturday afternoon. Anyway, we have about an hour before we start to board, so this lounge is located on the south part of the terminal. The security is on the north side, so I'm going to slowly make my way there and just make my way to the gate. Today we're departing from Gate 4, and here's my one hiccup for the day. This sign has a flight to Tokyo leaving at 4:20, and no information on the current flight which is boarding. The gate has 2 pathways for passengers. The one on the right is being used, and I didn't clue in to check that screen. So I thought I had more time than I actually did. In fact, those passengers you see boarding on the right side of the gate are boarding my flight, the one leaving at 3:20 instead of 4:20, and I was completely oblivious to this fact until I heard my name over the PA. It's an honest mistake and just one of those things that can happen, especially when you're traveling in a foreign country. But I managed to get on the aircraft and quickly make my way to 27H, my seat in the rear of the plane. Skymark 737s are configured in a single class with 177 seats throughout, with a 31-inch seat pitch, the same as Fuji Dream Airlines, which I flew a few days prior. The single cabin is nice and bright with beige seats. This flight wasn't terribly full, perhaps 1/3, and I had a row of seats to myself. This particular aircraft is about 12 years old, delivered to Skymark in November 2009. However, these seats are newer, replacing the older blue seats when they refurbished the cabin. They are a notable improvement. Not only do they benefit from newer material, but they also contribute to the visual aesthetics of the cabin. Seatback houses the tray table and pocket below. With a 31-inch seat pitch, there's enough space to store a small item beneath. Anything larger than this would be better stowed above. The tables are adjustable, clicking into place, providing a little more rigidity. Also, there is a universal outlet under the seat. This is a new feature, as they were not installed with the original blue seats, and it is a welcomed one. And above, like many 737s, you'll have the air control and reading light. Skymark is classified as a low-cost carrier, and like many of them, there's no Wi-Fi or in-flight entertainment. And once again, if you're a new viewer, I invite you to subscribe for more aviation and travel-related content. It was a little bumpy soon after takeoff, enough to halt the drink service partway through. But once it resumed, I went with a coffee. Skymark's touch is providing Kit Kat during their in-flight service. The plane was not so full, and the attendants provided 2 for each passenger. Only coffee is provided free of charge. They have a nice selection from their buy on board menu, all 100 yen, about 75 cents, which is quite possibly the best value you can find on a budget airline. Coffee in hand, it was time to sit back and enjoy the best in-flight entertainment. And just before we land, I checked out one of the lavatories in the rear of the aircraft. Skymark is a great budget airline to get around Japan, and very convenient since they fly into Haneda. Customer service in Japan is top notch, and it's no different on this airline. Even seeing a goofy foreigner with a camera on board, one cabin attendant came up to me during the flight, we had a little chat, and she showed me the flight plan and route we took. When we disembarked, they offered yet another Kit Kat to passengers. These little touches don't go unnoticed, and I'm sure they're equally excited that once again they can offer and provide an enjoyable flying experience. The cost of this flight came to 14,900 yen, or 67% of a one-way non-reserved Shinkansen ticket. Anyway, I think that about does it for today. Everything from the lounge to the flight to the friendly service made this a very enjoyable trip. Sometimes when we travel, things don't always go to plan, but when they do, it provides a very positive and exciting experience. And it's days like this, which is why I love traveling so much. So let us know what you thought about Skymark Airlines, or perhaps you want to share your most memorable flight. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.